I'm Sam Kawakami. In this video, I am going to talk about Teams assignments and talk about how to attach resources and have students turn in work. So if you go to your General tab, then you can see assignments here at the top. So if you click on that tab in the top, assignments, here you can see different homework that's already assigned in order by due date. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a new assignment. So you can create a blank assignment, or you can create a quiz, which I've already shown a video about using forms, or from existing. For now, let's go ahead and look at from existing. So I'm going to you can choose to reuse an assignment from any class, not just the class you're working in now. So I'm using a test class right now, but I'm going to reuse an assignment from the Globetrotters template. So I'm going to click Next. And for now, I'm going to go ahead and choose the explanatory email assignment. So I'm going to click Next. Now, as you'll notice here, you can see the title. You can change this as you want. And right now it's still processing. Once it finishes processing, it'll automatically copy over, for example, the category, all of the instructions, and all of these different types of resources that I've chosen. And the points as well. The only thing I have to change is the due date and the channel I want to post it in. And also, one more thing. If I have a web link to a specific class notebook page, I will need to change that because that web link to a class notebook is specific for each class. But, for example, I've attached a resource as a class notebook, which is something that students can edit their own copy. This is fine because this will automatically be created as a new page into each student's personal section in the class notebook. So I don't need to change this unless I want to change the assignment itself. For me, what this page here right now is the rubric, so that I can easily give students their grade right in their page. I can handwrite it or I can type it. And another thing I realized last year is that if I want students to do something in a Word file or a PowerPoint, students can create a Word file or a PowerPoint on their own using Office 365. But what happened was a lot of students had problems uploading it in the correct place. All they have to do is click on Add Resources, but it seems to be more complicated. And sometimes students would attach it to the team assignment. Sometimes they would print it out in the class notebook. Sometimes they would attach it as a file to the class notebook. So in order to prevent confusion and make it easier for students and for me, I found it's easy to attach a blank template for the Word file that I want them to go ahead and complete. If I do this, all students have to do is open that file, they can edit it, and they can close it, and it'll automatically save it in this assignment section. They don't have to rename it or do anything to it. So right now I have the Word file for students to edit and the notebook page, which is actually for me to edit, not for the students. And right now I have a web link, but this web link again is unique to the previous class. So I want to change this web link. So what I need to do, in order to create a web link to a class notebook, I'm going to close this. Oops, remove it. And I'm going to click on Add Resources and Add Link. Now, to do a link to a class notebook page, let me show you the class notebook page. If you right-click on this page, you can copy link to page. So I'm going to copy a link to this page. This is within the same class I'm working on now. Now, there's one tricky thing about links to OneNote pages, and that is, let me paste it and you can see, is that there's kind of two links. The left-hand side of the link is a link that will go into open their OneNotebook app. What I want to link to it, though, to the assignment, is the web view. You need to have a proper URL. So I'm going to go ahead. I usually paste this into a word processing document, and then I click on Edit Link, and then I can copy this link here. And it's very long. Command C to copy it, and now I can go back to my assignment and I can paste it here. And then it'll automatically come up with some text. Oh, it's telling me it's not a valid site, so I think I didn't copy it correctly. Maybe I don't need that at the end. Okay, so it doesn't like my URL, so let's try this again. Let me copy link to page. Let me go here and click. Okay, web view, edit link, and if I open the link, maybe that'll be easier, and then I can copy it from here. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my team and try and repaste that URL. Okay, now I have a proper URL, and it gives me a kind of weird description, which I can change. So I can change it to email assignment, whatever I want to call it, whatever I want it to display. And then I can go ahead and click attach. And now I have a link attached to that particular class's class notebook page. So things that you can attach would be Word files, PowerPoint files, Excel files. You can attach one class notebook page, and you can link to a class notebook page. You can also create a link to your Flipgrid grid, and you can also create a link back to a channel. So if you want students to be able to go straight back to a channel, you can create a link to that channel in the same way by right-clicking on the channel. If I right-click on the channel, I can get link to channel and copy this, and I can add a resource as a link. And I can do, usually in this case I put a description, link to whatever channel, and then click attach. And now they can click on that and it'll take them straight back to that link. So the other thing to be careful about then is the bottom. The points will automatically copy over from the previous assignment, and the assigned to will automatically show up as the current class that you are in. And you might want to be careful about this, assigned to all students added in the future. I recommend keeping this because if you add a student later for some reason and you want them to be able to see the assignments, then this needs to be on. Or if you want to be able to share it with the teacher later. If this is not on, they can't see it. So the other thing to be careful about then is date due. You can change this to any date that you want in the future. And if you click on edit here, you can actually change this to schedule to assign in the future. So this will be the date and time that it will be shown to students. So you can change that as well. A hard close date. So due date is the date that it's due. Students are supposed to do it by then. But if you have no close date, they can still turn it in after that. It will just show that they turned it in late. If you create a hard close date with the same date and a student misses that deadline by even 1 minute, you'll start getting messages saying, I can't turn in the assignment. So I recommend against using a hard close date. You might want to set it for a week after the assignment is due, and that gives students enough time in case they had a technical problem, or maybe even just a day later. But I recommend giving yourself a tiny bit of wiggle room here. Otherwise, you'll be dealing with a lot more emails. And when you're done with that, you can click Done. And then the other big thing is the channel. All assignments are automatically assigned to the general channel. But I don't usually want to assign everything to the general channel because I wanted to assign to each class channel because it makes it easier for students to see. So they can see all of the assignments connected with that particular class. So here you can click Edit, and then you can choose the channel you want to post to. And then click Done. And I would wait a few seconds before you click on Assign, otherwise sometimes it hasn't, the setting for the channel hasn't kind of taken. And once it posts to the general channel, you cannot change the channel. That's true for any channel. So now that I have all of my settings okay, I'm going to review them one more time. I can see my my category as major assignment, which just makes it easy to view the assignments. You can break them down by looking at all the major assignments or all of the textbook homework assignments or all of the quizzes or whatever. So now I'm going to go ahead and click Assign. And now it is done. That's it. Assignment assigned. So I hope this helps with how to assign assignments, and it's actually quite easy to do.